What's up, good people? What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all see, you know what time it is. Yeah. Y'all know who I am. And today is Wednesday. It is Wine Down Wednesday. Y'all know what we do. You know what time we do it. And we about to bring it to you because this topic with some other people were hot. It was hot. I think it was. I think sometimes it's important that we talk about it. But anyway, in the meantime, between time, y'all know who I am. I'm Sandy. I'm sitting here with my girl.
Hey, it's Shanice's Wind Down Wednesday. Y'all know what time it is. It is the middle of the week. It is hump day.
Hump day, and we humping right on to the end of the week. So in the meantime, how your week been, sis? How your week been?
It's been good. I've been super tired trying to adjust to this weather change, which is so annoying. My allergies is going crazy. It's not a fun time. I'll just put it that way.
Say no more. Say no more. Totally understand. Not that I have issues with this, with the allergies and all that stuff, but I get it. So how's the family?
Oh, everybody's good. No complaint, no major complaints. Did have homecoming. My daughter had her homecoming freshman year, so that was fun.
What up, AJ?
Hey AJ, thanks for tuning
Thanks
in.
for tuning in.
Yeah, so sometimes you just gotta try to bring strength from somewhere. Lord,
Yes,
help
trust me.
us out.
Yeah.
How about
Um,
you?
my week's been good. I'm like you, just trying to catch up. Got a couple of major things going on, but other than that, balancing. Every day gets better, So last couple of weeks been kind of rough, rugged, but you get through it, you push through it, you make it through, because every day, like I said, it's a different day, and it's gonna get better. It's gonna be better. We just got to keep going. But God is good. You know me, it's all good. Family is good. Everybody's good. Courtney's doing well. My siblings are doing well thus far. So right now, everybody's doing good, and I'm like you, not just trying to adjust to the weather and the change, but it's man, I'm back to work and I'm trying to adjust to them hours, and some days it's real hard for a sister, but I got to keep pushing because you know how we do it. If we don't do it, who gonna do it for us? We can't sit around and wait for somebody to grab our hand and say, "Come on, let's go. I got you." Which is leading into my segue of what our topic is about. What's going on, Facebook?
Hey, Facebook user, how are you? Thanks
How
for
you doing?
tuning back in.
Thanks for tuning again this week. We're gonna figure out how you can put your name in there so we know who you are. Facebook,
Maybe they want to remain a mystery.
but
Who
they
knows?
might want to remain anonymous. But
Hey,
here, here we are talking about it this weekend. Like I said, talking about it again this week. Where's my segue right into what I want to discuss or what we're gonna discuss? It's like we don't know. But in the meantime, this is how cool we gonna get this going because y'all know we have our girl that be chiming in and kicking in and hanging with us, during the
yes, she was
so
with us last week. Yes,
she was with us last week. She gonna be with us this week. We about to bring her right on in this thing because she is in a place where we gonna get some more feedback from some other people. So here we go. Gonna bring our girl in. It's Netta in the building again this week, good people. What's up, Netta? But
hey,
she got to put that
Okay.
earbud in. What's going on?
It's in there. Hey, y'all.
Hey,
hey.
Hi, baby.
you know, this is the deal. We said we was gonna bring it in, and we bringing you in because ain't no better place to do it because you right now at the salon, and no
Right.
better place to talk about what we gonna talk about. But in the meantime, how your week been, Netta? How
It's been
your
great. It's been great, Sandy. I ain't, doing what I do best. Work, go home, be a wife. That's it.
making it
And it's been
happen?
great. How
Good,
y'all week been?
good. No complaints. All is well on this
Very
end.
well,
Denise?
very well.
Good, good, good.
Yep, all is well on this end. Doing what we got to do to keep that thing moving, and you're in the right place today to talk about what we're about to talk about. And please feel free to have your friend that's with you to chime in to the topic of this conversation. If they do so, please. If they want to do it, you can give us the feedback of what they're saying, or you can just give her your phone and let her tell us what she thinks about sisterhood.
Okay.
We are, that's going on,
Hey,
Angela?
Angela. Thanks for
Thanks,
tuning
thanks
in.
for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. What's going on, India? Thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
Listen, I got all the ladies tuning in tonight because this is a ladies' topic. This to me is a hot topic because we've been discussing it pretty much. Me and a couple of other friends have been talking about it, this week, and we really hit hard on it today. And I was like, why not talk about it? And Netta is in a better place to talk about it other than the salon, because we know we go to salon to, to feel good, to, to be beautified or whatever you go. But it's a feel good moment for all of us when we go. Not saying that, you need a perm or nothing like that, because some of us do. But anyway,
I did.
that part. Anyway, let's talk about sisterhood. So tonight we're going to talk about it. And the one particular topic is sisterhood. What I want to say is, hey, sis, are you all right? Now, when was the last time you called a girlfriend and asked her, was she all right? Now, and I say that to say this. Does something have to be going on for us to call our girlfriend?
No, not at all. I regularly check on it's just my girlfriends, just people in general. If you pop up in my mind or pop up in my thoughts, I check on you. There used to be a time, especially before there's been a lot of losses, used to be a time where it's a lot of feedback. But there used to be a time where there we go. There used to be a time where you'll think about the person and you're like, oh, I get to them, and then next thing you know, you hear they passed away. Which is so sad. And so now if somebody comes up in my mind, or just randomly, I just send them a text and say, hey, just checking on you, want to know, if you're okay, that type of thing. So I do that pretty much on a regular basis with a lot of different people.
So my thing is, I guess what I want to know is, why do we wait until we know something is going on with one of our girlfriends, sister friends, or whatever, to call them and check in and say, hey, sis, how are you doing? Why do we do that? Because trust me when I tell you, y'all know, we don't always check in on each other. We're here through the grapevine that such and such happened to somebody. If you connected to them, then you call them. So, but why do we not do that like consistently? If you my girlfriend, if you my sister, if you in the club. But what I have found in Cincinnati, and I think we talked about this before, Cincinnati women are fickle. They are territorial. They are sensitive to a certain point. And when you say something to them, it's almost like they'll cut you off, or they don't have nothing to do with you because they feel like what you said, you're really talking about them. India says, when y'all do it, do you get the response? I was just thinking about you.
Sometimes. Angela said everyone doesn't have the capacity to be selfless, and I agree with her. I feel like it's an individual walk, it's individual thought process. Um, Everybody's not, going to be you. Everybody's not going to do what you're doing. I can't say, you being my sis, you being Southern, you say, hey, what's up? Everything cool, everything good. It's like kind of like what Kelly said, like it's a Midwest thing. Southern girls,
Yeah, we don't do that.
It's no question.
We don't do that. I think it's a Midwest thing. We muted Netta for a minute, but when Netta get ready to talk, we're gonna add her back in because I get like I'm hearing
A lot of feedback.
I'm hearing double two, sis. Like I can hear myself 2 times. So when just unmute yourself, sis, when you get ready to talk. But it is. I'm like Kelly said. I feel too that it's a northern thing, Midwest thing, or whatever. Because I think down south, the women down south do a little bit better at reaching out and connecting if you are really in that sisterhood group. You cannot get in your feelings when someone says something, not necessarily, it's not necessarily saying it's talking about you, but why would you get in your feelings if somebody's just saying something or doing something, but then you take offense to it and then you want to get out the group? India says they are fake. What you think, Netta?
I think that we don't really know the meaning of sisterhood, or we use the word sis too lightly to me. If I'm calling you sis, then I mean you really my sis or my friend. Everybody we grown and we know that we're not biological sisters, but I don't want to call you my sis if you're not really my friend. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that we don't have the meanings together. You understand what I'm saying? Like people just calling people sis just as a word, he. But I take that more seriously. And so if I'm calling you my sis and you calling me your sis or whatever, if I say something to you, if you get offended by what I say, let me know that. Let's communicate that, and so that I can give you my understanding. Because everybody have their own meaning and their own opinions. If, like Sandy, if you give me your opinion about something, if I get offended by that, I should be able to come to you and tell you that because you're my friend. You see what I'm saying? Instead of me taking the attitude and then just going off to myself, then where the friendship stand? So I don't get that part, and I think that a lot of women just they catty, they don't communicate, and that causes a problem. So don't call me sis if we can't communicate. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I think too that India said that she finds a lot of the Southerners, Southern women, to not be very genuine. And let me say this: being someone from the South, born and raised down there, been up here a long time. Sometimes I feel like I've been up here too long, but I've never forgotten my roots. And we were talking about this earlier today. It's hard for me to trust women because I'm not from here. I'm not from up here. I didn't go to school here. I didn't grow up in no specific neighborhood here. I didn't grow up around nobody in this city other than when I got here. So for me, when I moved here in this city, it was very hard for me to trust a woman that I didn't know, which led me to even to currently now. I don't trust every woman that I know. I cannot say every woman I know is my sister girlfriend, because at the end of the day, you probably just trying to find information. Here's my thought process. You want information so you can use it against me, so you can do that I told you so. So it's something I can't trust. It takes me a long time to trust you. And if I tell you something, if I put you in my business or I bring you in my life, that means, okay, then I trust you. I trust you enough that we gonna share our innermost, deepest, darkest secrets or thoughts or whatever it is, and that you ain't gonna share it with nobody else, because at the end of the day, I need a shoulder to cry on too. And I think sometimes up here, around here, they abuse the term and they abuse sisterhood. I think there are a lot of women that abuse sisterhood. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying from my observations on the outside looking in, they are abusers of the sisterhood family or community or whatever. And I'm going back to what you said, India. I mean, they fake. I don't think they real. Anybody want to chime in on that?
I agree with Netta. I agree with you. I think also we have to come to a place where we understand that my thought process is not going to be yours. The way I sister somebody is not the way I should expect them to sister me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of times we expect us from other people, and when we don't get it, we let down, or oh, that's really not this, or that's really not that. I agree with Netta that there needs to be a conversation if we are saying we're sisters, if there's a misunderstanding or you feel some kind of way. I do feel like you need to speak up and say, but I think a lot of times what happens is we do get to a place where you assume that how you sister someone should sister you the same exact way, and that's not realistic because we're all different. We all view things different. We all see things different. So I can't expect me from you because you're not me. You know what I mean? So I think that has to go and be considered as well.
And I think what comes with sisterhood is consistency. Angela said, Shanice, that's very true. I think with sisterhood comes consistency. If you cannot be consistent in your sisterhood, then that's an imbalance. That's not a balance for me. If I can't, depend on you and count on you, it's a consistent thing with me. Women want to be consistent, want to see some consistency too. We want to see that in our relationships. It's consistency. So it's consistency with everybody. But my thing is, I think that around, and like I said, I'm not from here, but it's just from what I'm looking on the outside. There's a lot of, I go with Netta, what Netta says, catty, and I don't like being around a lot of catty women. I don't like being around nosy women. I really don't like being around a lot of women anyway. I'm more of I have best male friends, that are the bombdiggity.com, and I would prefer them over women. But when I'm in a group of women and I consider it or them to be my foundation for sisterhood, then if I say something or they say something, then you shouldn't get in your feeling. I'm be like, Netta, then why don't you just pull them to the side and say, hey, sis, because that's what we do. That's what we should do. We should pull each other to the side and say, I don't know if that was that was directed at me, but I felt like it was. But and explain yourself. And then if once they they get it out their system, then ain't no reason for you to be in your feelings about it. But I'm gonna go back to it. I think women abuse sisterhood. I think some women abuse sisterhood. My take on it.
I want to say that I feel like a lot of times there are a lot of assumptions made instead of a lot of conversations had. And so it's easy to get confused or, make an assumption. A lot of times with sisterhood, it's a simple conversation. It's a simple question. It's not an assumption. It's not, well, I assume this is what you meant. Like, hey, can you explain to me what you meant? It's just appropriate dialogue to have with the person that you're labeling or terming as a sister. That respect, it has to stay there. I mean, I feel like that's another thing that's lost because I'm all up in my feelings while I forget to respect you as not as a person,
Right.
first, and my sister.
And Angela says sometimes she finds herself female friendships hard because she grew up with a lot of brothers and the majority of her cousins were male too. And I get that because that was me. I grew up like that too. And so India also said she just started dealing with women when she became an adult. Sweet baby Jesus, honey, I feel sorry for you because all I'm going to tell you, India, is to make sure you choose. And it's hard to say that because I done had to kick women out of my life who I really, 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 really thought they were down for me. I'm serious. I had to kick them out because I thought they were really down for me, and come to find out they weren't. And I do find that women around here, I can only speak here, some of them, not all of them, some of them are users. They would use your sisterhood, they would use your kindness and take advantage of it until you realize it, and then you got to cut them off. You just got to cut them off. India says, even as a child, I didn't deal with a lot of females because I saw the drama and catty ways, which means that we don't want to trust nobody. And she is very careful. I mean, it's very hard for me. Like the last 2-3 weeks for me has been like, oh, baby, sweet baby Jesus it's been extremely difficult. But I got a group that's off the charts. When I say off the charts, off the chain. You know, other than me praying like we always do, because I'll be the first to tell you, and Shanice will be the first to tell you, and so Netta, we all three will be the first to tell you, honey, pray about it and keep that thing rolling. But at the end of the day, that sisterhood base, that foundation that your sisters got for you, that we putting on mask and fighting. That's all I know. I'm rolling with them.
I hate, excuse me, y'all, I hate that, majority of the comments and it's like bad women bashing, because I have met some awesome women in my life. I'm only from Cincinnati. I've never lived in another state, so I can only speak on Cincinnati women. Now, I have had some bad, major bad experiences with a lot of women, but I also have found some amazing women. Sandy is one, and so I would hate to lose out on a relationship with a woman because of my experiences with other women. You understand what I'm saying? Because no one is the same, like what Shanice said. No one is exactly the same. And so we can't, no, me, I can only speak for me. I can't really like fault any other woman because of my experience, my bad experiences with other women. You understand what I'm saying? I give everybody a chance and I allow everybody to mess up on their own and not off of my experiences. But again, everything ain't sisterhood either. Because within that group of sisterhood, each and every individual has to be a sister in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not gonna be a sister in the hood, then don't come in this group of sisters that's trying to be in the sisterhood. If that makes
Right.
sense.
It makes sense. Angela says she don't consider it woman bashing for someone to speak their experiences, and I agree. You know, I don't either. But there are some women that will think that it's bashing another woman. You know, regardless. And I mean, it's small minded because that's what they think. And I look at it too as a lot of people, even women my age, some are still immature. Some still haven't grown up mentally, and they can't get to that point where they can, you know, be in a group of grown grown women, you know, instead of being immature. You know, I'm old school. I'm old. I mean, I pretty much do a lot of old things. I don't get it twisted. I like to, some new stuff too. But I got old ways in my system. And it's hard for me to do something or say something totally different. And just that I don't feel that would be me. If I can't speak my truth in my sisterhood group, then who can I speak it with?
India says she just don't like the gossip, and I don't like the gossip either. And I feel like um sisterhood connects you in ways that a lot of times experiences that you've had, maybe experiences that your sisters have already had as well, which is what kind of connects you guys. So you're like, okay, she went through that, I went through that, we ain't like it, you know what I mean? So we're not gonna put each other through that, um as far as that aspect is concerned. But again, it's just about, it's an individual walk. It's just about being the best you feel that you can, for yourself, for your sisters, the women you surround yourself with, and that's that. And then when you feel like you getting some friction or you getting this, just having a conversation and saying, and them coming to you and saying, hey, I felt like whatever I might have said was XYZ, so that so it doesn't have to grow to something that it's really not. It's a lot of times that silence um builds those walls that it could have been knocked down a long time ago with just a conversation. So I mean, I just feel like it's about the conversation. It's about the maturity level, and it's about, hey, you my sister because you've experienced some things. May have experienced some the same things, but at different times. So I mean, there's a lot of things that can connect you to your sister, and not, don't look for that sister to perform how you perform. You know what I mean? If all she do is text you once a week, say, hey, let's get lunch, or hey, just want to check on you. I've been busy, blah blah. That's how she functions in sisterhood. I feel like sometimes we criticize how people function, but that's probably how they know how to function. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's not toxic to you, as long as you can have that conversation and say, hey, this bothered me, or this didn't bother me, or I think you should do this, or you know what I mean?
Right.
It's an understanding.
Right.
If that's how you are, that's what you consider sisterhood. This is how I am. I do a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? It's okay for you to be you. It's okay for me to be me. Instead of that comparison where, I'm always calling you, I'm always checking on you. You check on me 4 times a month. Like, okay, but I check on you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but and it's okay to have that conversation to say, I feel some kind of way because I'm a sister that call you every day or every other day, but you only call me 4 times a month. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have that conversation, but then don't expect that person to try to turn into what it is that you do. You know what I mean? I think that mess up the sisterhood too, because you put assumptions on people instead of allowing them to be who they are.
But here's my thing. Let's go back to what Angela said. Angela said absolutely she had to step outside of a circle of women because of an immature woman. Not just, she said, because of an immature woman. So she chose to leave and deal with everyone individually than to force it or prove herself to them. And then Facebook user said, the older you get, your circle gets smaller. Everyone can't go because everyone can't grow. And I agree with that. And the thing about it is sometimes you do have to step away. My thing is, why are you, if we're all in a group together, we're in a real tight knit sisterhood group, why would you get mad because I'm hanging out with Netta? Netta decided to hang out with me. And Netta chose me to do this and I chose Netta to do that. You should not be in your feelings, because somebody chose the other person to do this and to do that, So I looked up the definition of sisterhood, relationship between sisters. Much of sisterhood is about sharing lipsticks, sharing different thoughts, different ideas. It's almost like when somebody says something to me, and I'll be like, oh, let me do this, let me do that. Or we at a restaurant or something, we taste a different drink. I'll say, don't worry, I ain't put my mouth on no dang-a-lang, so I'm good. So I feel like I can share my drink and my sister can share her drink with me because we being true, we being down, we being real with each other. So it is like sharing lipstick. It is like, because you all know that lipstick is something major to people. And it's like, I don't want you putting your mouth on none of mine. But if I can share that with you wholeheartedly and don't worry about it, you in my group. I mean, we down with each other. I'll be like, shoot, this helper let me use her darn lipstick. Angela says it is true to say that some friendships are trauma. Ooh, baby. Why? Netta?
For sure. And that's where the jealousy.
Yeah.
Listen, that's where the jealousy comes in with that trauma, because your friendship with Netta ain't gonna be like your friendship with me, and that should be okay.
Netta, what you think about that right there? What you think about this right here, what Angela just said?
First of all, let me thank Angela for all her shares, because the one before this one was on point with me, because I was in a group of girlfriends. Well, I thought they was girlfriends, and I got into it with one of them, and it felt like all of them turned against me. And so, you know me, I move on. It is what it is. But what she said about this one with the trauma, oh wait, oh wait, it's horrible. It's just horrible. And when you notice that trauma, you got to move on and let that friendship go, because if that's not what you are, which is traumatic, you got to let the friendship go, because or you're gonna turn into that as well.
Right. And then she also said, even when you watch these reality shows, now I don't even watch them. I'm gonna tell y'all
I
right now.
do.
I don't
I
watch
do.
I don't watch no reality show. I don't watch all that. They are, to me, that's fake too. That's fake news. That's fake. That's unfortunately some women learn how to be not be a friend, how to be a friend and how not to be a friend. So I don't watch that. So TV is bringing a lot of that to light. And it's unfortunate that people do look at TV and try to women look at TV and try to use that as a guide for them to be friends or be a sisterhood group. And that's not true. I don't think the Facebook user is Jabron. I don't think Jabron is talking tonight about this. Hey, ladies, how are you? I don't think, hey, sister, how you doing? I don't think Jabron chiming in on this one tonight. Hello, other Facebook user. Thanks for tuning in, but I don't think that's Jabron. But my thing is, you said you hit the nail on the head, because sometimes you can bring trauma into the group and it destroys the whole sisterhood. We all got trauma. We all have been through something. But how much of your trauma should you bring in to the group, to the sisterhood group? Now, I'm not going to bring my trauma in, because once again, I got an issue with trust. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I got an issue with trusting people, and I got an issue with trusting women, because I've been burned too many times, and I have learned my lesson, and I learned it well. I'll sit back and I observe. As much fun as I love to have, and as much as I love to do, trust me, I'm watching more than you think I am, and I'm listening more than you think I am. I don't even have to write no notes down, but I can guarantee you, I remember when you said something. Sure will. So if I'm moonwalking backwards, then it's something that you done said and something that you done done. But what's up, my brother? Phil, what's going on? That is
Hey, thanks for tuning in, Phil.
Phil said, why just women? Because Phil, let's just keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. And y'all women, hey ladies, please help Phil out. Why is it men got brotherhood? They got brotherhood, but their brotherhood and how they do things are totally different than how women do things. They can go on trips out of town and have a great time. Angela said, I see his name. Jabron said the comments about the circle about being smaller. Okay, that was Jabron name. My bad. I missed that one. Phil said, why is it just women? What y'all think? Why is it just women? Why is it just the women?
I don't feel like it's just women. I feel like it's both. It can be both, but because we're women, we're talking about women. I feel like men have their circles, they have things, loyalty issues and things like that in their groups, but because we are women, we're talking about the ladies, and but it's a fact, Phil. It doesn't just happen to women; it happens to men as well.
It does, and I know for a fact that it happens with men too, because Phil and I, Phil's like my brother. And like I said, that's my best friend. That's a male. That's one of my men best friend, and I ain't got but two. But he and this other person is them are my boys. They're my dogs. It's like if I need Phil, I can call Phil. If I need Phil to beat somebody up or curse somebody out, I can call Phil. If I need to cry on Phil's shoulder about an incident or issue or whatever, I can call Phil. Because there are sometimes in the sisterhood group, we can't do that. We don't feel comfortable with, I may not feel comfortable calling Shanice, telling Shanice. Because in my brain, which I know it ain't gonna happen because we done talked about some stuff. Because in my brain, some women brains, even calling Netta might be in the bed and talk to her husband, or Shanice might be in the bed and say, you know what, Sandy, you know what happened? Sandy said blah, 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 blah. See, I don't need that. I don't need you telling my business to your husband at Pillow Talk, because that ain't how sisterhood operate. We don't do that.
No, we don't do that. We don't do that. And a lot of times you do need a male perspective.
And then Angela says she can be both. She can be both. And then Phil said it's about keeping your circle close to you. It is about. And then your another Facebook user said it's about growth. And it is about growth, because Phil being my brother, and that's what I'm gonna call it, and you all being in my sisterhood group, if you were following me, and if we're real close and we real tight, you pretty much know what's going on with my life. You pretty much know what I'm dealing with and what I'm going through and what's happening. So you pretty much can see what's happening. Now that's a group. That's a tight-knit group. Everybody can't see that because, I don't show it to everybody. And of course, y'all don't show it to everybody. We don't show it to everybody. So you got to keep that sisterhood and that brotherhood group tight, because if you don't, it'll fall apart. You're going to fall apart and you're going to walk away and you're going to step away. Because some people I cut off before I even start. I cut you off before I even start with you. Because if I know you messy, no, I cut you off before you can't even get close to me like that. We cool. I'm cool with you. But I can't fool with you.
You can't share everything with everybody. That's first things first. You got to know what you can and cannot share with whomever, male or female, but specifically, since we're talking about sisterhood, your sister. So, I mean, it may be something that, either any of us want to share with one sister that we don't feel comfortable enough to share with the other one because we know it's gonna go a different way. It's just not. I ain't being funny or nothing, but that's just how I know she handles it, and so I can't. You know what I mean? Like, you have to know that and be okay with that.
And the thing is, we don't do it enough. I'm a stick with what I said. I don't feel we do it enough. We don't call our sister and say, "Hey sis, are you all right?" Just checking in on you, because sometimes they want to hear your voice. That's all they need. Sometimes it's just to hear from you, that person, or the person that they thought was the one, or their best friend, or whatever. We'll talk and call somebody else before we call and talk to who we said was in our sisterhood group or a part of me as a sister. I try to check on all of my close knit friends, because that's what I do. I'm about the sisterhood, but like I said, I would moonwalk on you in a heartbeat. And Phil will tell you, if I don't fool with you, I don't fool with you. Point blank, period. That's not what his favorite words are, but those are my words. If I don't fool with you, I just don't fool with you, because I don't have time for all of that. When I cut you, I cut you. Ain't no nothing. Ain't no point of returning. So I'm good on that. That's the kind of woman that I am, because I'm not going to allow you to come in my circle, to become in my life, and we become cool. And my daughter calling you auntie so and so, auntie this and auntie that, and then the next thing you know, some foolishness then took place because you in your feelings, and we are no longer friends. I can't have that. So at the end of the day, my circle real small, because I don't fool with women like that. You can't take a pig out of the mud and clean him off and expect him not to get back in there and get dirty. Somebody better come on and say something.
Let me ask a question. Is there a point in the sisterhood that we can't have a major issue and get over the hump? Or is it just a cutoff and no return?
I think we can. I think we can get over the hump, but the only way we're gonna get over the hump is what Shanice said earlier. That's by communicating. That's by talking. That's what you said too earlier. We got to talk about it. That's the only way.
I think,
Facts.
yeah, communicating, I think, is definitely situational. Of course, we all know there's layers to everything. But being intentional and saying, hey, I'm gonna take this time out to have this conversation with this person, and you feeling that it's just as important as the other person's feelings just as important. That 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 means something. That means that, okay, this is important enough for us both to sit down, take time out, address this so that we can continue the sisterhood. We can continue the friendship instead of one person. I got to keep chasing you to have a conversation to find out why it's not supposed to be like that. It should be, let's clear the air. We both want to clear the air because we want to move forward.
But how do you handle a friend that's in the sisterhood circle that's needy? Like, I mean, needy, sometimes draining, over the top. I mean, how do you handle that kind of person?
You got to talk to them.
That's the problem.
You got to tell them.
That's the problem.
Yeah, me personally, I don't think it's that easy because a needy person is very emotional. I mean, it's so much layers to that person that, like Sandy said, it drains you to you don't know how to even be the sister that they need because it's too many layers coming. You help with one layer and there's another layer, so you just start, you know, getting crazy yourself. So I don't know if it's best to kind of walk away or, kind of mend fences. Like we're gonna go here,
But
go there
even
because I don't know how to help.
But even in the
What do you
conversation, but even what you just said, hey, how can I help you? Because I'm feeling like XYZ. What you just said, I'm
I'm
starting to
saying,
feel
yeah,
drained. I'm starting to feel, this is a lot for me. How can I be there for you?
I'm with
and
India.
not feel as though I'm being drained.
I'm with India. You feed them with a long handle spoon and you protect your mental health first. And Phil says sometimes you have to give yourself a break from the circle. And that's it. And you need some me time. That is it right there. Nailed on the head, both of you all.
But
Both of
you
you
still
all.
gonna have to have a conversation because it's gonna always come up. You
It,
can walk away, from it, but at the end of the day, you have to come back to it at some point in time because it's gonna start all over again. And if the person is never told that this is what they're doing to you, how will they know?
I'm like AJ. I'm gonna redirect them to another friend in the circle. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be like friend, I'm gonna be like India and Phil. I'm gonna feed you with a long handle spoon first, and then because I need to protect my mental well-being because that is draining, and then I'm gonna step away and give myself some me time. So I'm gonna direct you somewhere else. So I mean, it's overwhelming because here's another thing about the sisterhood and the brotherhood. Just because we don't talk about it and we don't say it, don't mean that I ain't going through nothing. So here I am taking on all your stuff and mine because I haven't shared it. It's draining, it's overwhelming, and it causes breakdowns in the friendship, in the sisterhood circle, in the brotherhood circle, professional counseling. And sometimes they don't even want to do the professional counseling. Once again, India and everybody else on here, I'm going to use the word consistency. You have to be consistent. Phil says, what if your spouse have messy people? I cut them meffers off nicely. Well, I don't know if you're too nice about it, Phil. Well, yes, that last incident, I thought you was real nice. That's my boy. That's my brother right there. You were extremely nice. You have a nice streak in you. But if your wife is in a group or your husband is in a group and they are messy, you as a male husband, as a female wife, this is where the communication piece comes in, because we know this too. That messiness can lead over into your marriage, your relationship. And that's something that we don't want or you don't want. And it can mess it up because women are messy. So you as a husband or a wife would have to talk to your mate and just tell them, Phil, I know you ain't never bit your tongue. Shanice, you ain't never bit yours. And Netta, you sure don't bite yours. My thing is, you have to relay that information, communication, and be consistent with it because that's damaging. I'm telling you, that can be damaging to your relationship. Somebody in your ear all the time, and you hear them talking this smack and this mess and everything else. That is not good. Consider why would a person deal with messy people unless they are also.
You better say that, India. That is so true. Hurt people hurt people.
That's right. I hang around all positive couples. Exactly, Phil. My dog. That's why I hang around positive people. I believe in that positive in, positive out. But we're gonna go back to what India said. Consider why the person, it's like you taking what they do is some women, they take a little piece of food from one bird's nest and take it over to the next bird's nest to try to feed it and see what they can get. Who gonna bite? Who gonna eat? That's messy. But women do that though. They are messy. Women messy. I'm sorry. I love my sisters. I do. That's why my circle is so small with my sisters. Yeah, I know people. But the word friend, that's hard to come by. I'm telling you. And that's a shame. You're right, Angela. That's a shame. But you and I know women do that. They take a piece of, and here's what I don't like. And I feel no, Shanice and Netta know too. People around here in this city do talk. They run their mouth too much.
Way too much. Way too much.
It's too small. You tell one person in a sisterhood group, and it's going to another sisterhood group and another sisterhood group, and you never get the truth because it shouldn't have been taken out of the sisterhood group that was entrusted with that in the first place.
And we all know how it goes. If I whisper to you, my sister, hey, it's cold today, and you whisper to Netta, Shanice said it's cold today, wear a jacket. I never said wear a jacket. I just said it's cold today. So, when you pass stories around, and especially if you don't know what you're talking about, it's easy for somebody to add in or take out. Add in or take out. mind your business.
But that's what the group is for. The group is for support. The female and the males group, when you talk about sisterhood and brotherhood, it's for support. It's an association, society, a community of women linked by a common interest, religion, or trade. The Anglicans set up a sisterhood all over England, but we can't even set up a sisterhood in Avondale, Bond Hill, Evanston. We can't even.
And you know why? Because of jealousy.
And like what Angela just said, yep.
When I was saying adding extras to the story.
I always add
Yeah.
extra stuff that you ain't got no business adding because it was not part of the sisterhood circle or the brotherhood circle in the first place. So that's what I'm saying. But do we call each other enough and say, hey, sister, hey, brother, you all right? I don't think so. I talk to Phil every day. I talk to my other male best friend every day. I'm talking to Netta every day. I'm talking to Trina every day. I'm talking to Katiza every day. I'm talking to my sister every day. I'm talking to Angel every day. So I'm talking to my group. I'm talking to Doreen every day. I'm talking to my group of people that's in my circle that know my business every day. I'm talking to them every day. So that's my group. And I keep my group small. And then India says most of my sister friends are one-on-one, literally have no drama with any of them. That's what I'm talking about. I don't need them. I don't like drama. I don't like mess. I don't like being around it. That's why I consider my friends to be grown and sexy. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. Angela also said the best sister circles I have been a part of are connected by positive attributes of common interest. The foundation of a circle is very important. You got it. And you said the magic word, foundation, because you got to build it on something. And what you build it on is supposed to be trust. We're supposed to build a sisterhood on the grounds of trust. And once again, talk for me to do that.
I think a major problem with like our groups is when one sister bring in their friend sister. The other people get introduced to them, but you may trust that sister, but the other group of sisterhood women don't even know her to trust her like that. So it start, trickling. Then another person, because I remember that happened with us, Sandy, and you was like, "No new friends."
No new friends.
And
Not
so
doing it.
the other people didn't really understand where you was coming from. You weren't trying to be funny or mean. It's just I don't know that person, and I just know you. So I just want to stick with knowing you because I trust you, not your people. So a lot of people don't get it. Causes offensive, whatever. But we understood what was really being relayed for real.
Yeah, because I'll say that in a minute. I don't need new friends. I got enough. And I
Yeah.
definitely don't need no extra female friends because I got enough. More
Right.
than enough. I don't need all that in my life. I don't need no drama. And the thing about it is, I hang out with positive people. I hang out with positive couples, married couples, couples that are in relationships. That's who I hang out with because they own something. They on another level. Hanging out with single women, I don't know what level they be on because I'm not trying to see it. My sisterhood group are married women, so that's who I'm in the circle with. That's who my circle is. And that's how we get down. I don't fool around with single women like that because the single women don't understand the sisterhood piece of it.
It's just they don't, and it's idle time, and we know that idle time is what the devil's playground. So for who and for what, it's gonna be no. And just like you said, Netta, you can't expect. I mean, people can't expect that the sisterhood that they have, that they're inviting somebody else in, everybody gonna be on the same page. It just doesn't work that way. Because I'm cool with you, I can't expect that you gonna have the same bond or relationship with people I know. Like that's not what it is. Me and you cool. That's that. And that's where it starts to get messy because you're trying to add all of these entities and everybody's not on the same page.
I'm not bringing, if y'all notice, I don't bring no women into our group. I don't bring no women in to I ain't doing that because my friends don't. I don't have friends to bring in like that because my group of friends are small. Some of them I've been knowing for 30 plus years. Some of them I've been knowing less than that. But I'm not bringing nobody into the group. I'm gonna stick with what I got. I'm gonna stick with who I know. Like Phil, you know, Phil told me a long time ago. He was like, "I'm telling you right now, I don't care who he is and who you meet or where he come from. I ain't you can't bring nobody back in my life. You can't bring nobody back in my circle. And we get all connected and stuff like that's deep, man. That's deep because people trust you and they trust in that you fooling with the right people. I can't bring nobody back. It's like being a law enforcement because I wear that uniform. We ain't all on the same page. Just because we wear blue, I don't bleed blue. I ain't bleeding blue. Just because you're a black sister in that uniform, don't mean we on the same page. I mean, I'm a make sure I back you up. I got you if we going somewhere. I'm gonna do my job. I ain't gonna let you be out there by yourself. But I'm good. I don't need you. We cool. We cool. And just because I invite you to my stuff, don't mean we like dogs or down. We cool. I like you enough that I feel like you can come to the party, but you ain't gonna know my business. I'm sorry. It's a different group. That's a different set of people. But all my people, all my women friends are married. The majority of my women friends are married. I'm hanging around the positive people, the people that are in the relationships, and I don't mind being the third wheel and nobody's nothing. Because they treat me like family anyway, and vice versa. So that's what I love about my sisterhood and brotherhood. Because they're gonna say, "Hey, what you doing? Let's go." And I'll be like, "I'm on it. I'm there." So I appreciate my sisterhood and my brotherhood because they on point. And if you in some mess, my advice, start moonwalking now. Or
Right, because you got to be surrounded with people. Iron sharpens iron at the end of the day. So if you're not around those that are sharpening you, challenging you, challenging your skills, want to see the best for you, you want to see the best for them, you're in the wrong group. You got the wrong group of people.
yep, because if I'm acting a certain way in this group, and then when you see me around Shanice and Netta, I'm somebody different, then you should know what time it is. Then. What I say. What you got, Netta?
I feel like if you ain't around a lot of people that's supporting your cause, you're in the wrong group. But support is everything. The main key of a relationship, and I think these friendships or relationships, all that's relationships to me. Communication is the key, but support and loyalty holds it together. If you don't have that, moonwalk.
Moonwalk.
What my big sis said, moonwalk.
And
Don't
yeah,
Moonwalk.
try to.
we're gonna have to have another show about loyalty because loyalty that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But yes, yes.
But it's
Mhm.
all intertwined with trust. I got to trust you first. I really got to trust you first in order to make sure that you're loyal to me and I'm loyal to you. Trust is a big old
Correct.
huge thing when it comes to sisterhood and brotherhood.
I did leave
I
that
got
out. You right.
I got to
Correct.
be able to trust you. When I say trust you, then I can tell you anything that happened to me, when it happened and where, with hopes and prayer that you don't go spreading my business to nobody else and telling nobody else what I just told you.
Right.
Trust. And then that way, if I trust you, the loyalty is gonna come right behind it.
Absolutely.
That's the way because I'm gonna be we down for each other.
Absolutely.
I'm telling y'all, it's very difficult for me to trust somebody. It's hard. It's woo, sweet baby Jesus. We can go into that too another day. Hard trust is hard for me to do. It's hard. It's very hard. And when I lose it, or when you lose it from me, it's a wrap. You can't get it back. Ain't nothing you can say or do to get it back. God gonna have to put you up on the cross or something, or do something and hang. And I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna go back to what Angela said. I'm gonna feed you with a long handle spoon.
Mm-hmm.
I do that very well without any hesitation. That's why I love my group and no new friends because I ain't got time for it. Period. Hey, we got a lot of things going on in the city of Cincinnati, state of Ohio. You know, I got this thing coming up. I'm gonna need y'all to come out and hang out and do what you do on October 29th. Show up so we can show out because it's going down at Prime Sports Restaurant and Bar. So y'all better show up because hey, this the last party for, you know, a day party for a long time because this is about to get cold. And one thing about me, when it get cold, I don't hang out. I ain't that kind. We're not about to hang out. That's not what I do. We're not doing that. So anyway, y'all know what time it is. We come to that part of the show, but we got some other stuff going on because brother got some stuff coming up. We're going to put it on the board. But October 29th, that is this month, honey. That's this month. Come on out to the day party. 6040 Cold Rain. Because we doing what it do. Netta over there with her hair. See what I'm saying? That's sisterhood for you right there. When your sister is in the salon.
She getting it done, but she being a part of it. You know what I mean? She ain't missing out. That's what's up.
She letting y'all see the nappy naps and all that other stuff. You know, she letting y'all see who she is. She's trying to be beautiful for her husband. You know, and that's why I like, once again, I like hanging out with my people because this is what we do. We bring it to you live and in living color. Ain't no ifs, ands. Hey, you're right. My sister trusts us enough that she at the salon doing what she do. Trust is hard to come by. I'm telling you, India, trust is
Thank you,
hard
India.
to come by. Because you know, we don't play all the time. We play some of the time. That's one motto I say too. We don't play, we play some of the time, not all the time. So at the end of the day, we really thank you for tuning in. We thank you for watching.
Netta go give her positive quote so she can finish getting her due did. Go ahead, Netta.
My positive quote. Stay up, stay truthful, stay loyal, and learn how to trust.
Mm, mm, mm.
But not everybody. You don't trust everybody. There you go.
My thing is, you know, in a sisterhood and a brotherhood, check on your people. Call them, send a text message. Just take 2 seconds. Hey, I was thinking about you. Just checking on you. Call them. Hey, just checking on you. Can't stay on the phone for long. I'm at work too. Just check on you. Check on folks, especially if they pop in your head. Check on them. Okay, it only takes a second, and you never know. You might brighten up somebody's day. So, and secondly, don't expect you from others. Don't expect what you do from others.
Point blank, period. And I'm telling you, if you feeling it, if you don't feel it's right, go with your gut. Go with your instinct and moonwalk. Don't wait until you too deep in and then everybody else is seeing something that you should have saw a long time ago. Moonwalk, moonwalk, moonwalk. Because you'll know that sisterhood and that brotherhood group after 1 or 2 times. You're going to know. And you're going to know if you need to moonwalk. So at the end of the day, keep your eyes open and your ears to the ground. And always, please do this. Keep that positive in so the positive can come out. And y'all know my favorite saying, it's always better to give than it is to receive. If you listen to this, you're in the city of Cincinnati, state of Ohio, come on out and join me at the day party, October 29th, 6040 Cold Rain Avenue. Until then, we love you and talk to you next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Peace.
See you guys next week.